People say, how do you run this big company? You run it through a process. But the process has to be built from the clients to you, from the teammates to you, not from management down, because it's easy to write a memo, but it won't get anything done.
What are 3 things that you have to do before 7 a.m.?
Well, the first thing I do is I read a lot. So by 7 a.m., I probably read 5 newspapers.
The physical newspaper, or do you read them online?
I read them online. I'm reluctant to that. I used to deliver papers in college, and I loved the feel of newspaper. I love reading newspapers, but I had to give up finally because I really thought it's ridiculous that they're dropping off a newspaper at my house and nowhere else in our neighborhood. I usually then have gone through all the emails to figure out what happened in the hours that I was asleep. Our company's actually open. And then the third thing is I usually exercise before that time. I guess usually it's always a strong statement, but I try to usually exercise during that time.
Is there a hack or a trick that helps you keep your day on track?
I have a great assistant, and that's number one. They make sure that the scheduling is done in a way that I can actually meet the schedule. We have a pretty big history in this company. If you're late, you're actually selfish.
Oh.
And that's sort of ingrained in people. So we try to always be on time, not because we say you have to be on time like it's some rule, but you're being selfish to the other people involved.
What's the best advice you ever received?
I grew up on the strategy side of the company. So I was a lawyer, and I came into business to be a strategy, and I had all these smart people working for me. We had great ideas, and we would do all this stuff. A woman who I'd hired to run our private bank had come from San Francisco, and she said, whoa, 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 whoa. Can you visualize what the person actually has to do? And how you're going to explain it, and why you're going to be able to convince them to do it. Until you can, the idea is worthless. So the piece of advice, sort of rearranged, is you have to think out in at all times.
How do you avoid burnout, and how do you recover?
I've got a great family, and I got 2 grandkids now. Nothing sort of removes you from the days of whatever's going on in life. With a 3-week-old baby or an 18-month-old, and just watch the simplicity of that.
Fill in the blank. If I weren't a CEO, I would do.
If I weren't a CEO, what I'd like to do, I'd like to have been an architect, because I love
Really?
design and buildings and stuff. I'm just not talented enough. So the worst thing is to be an amateur architect. So I think it'd be more fun to do that in some days, than anything else.